Greetings and welcome back to Drasir TMD. My name is Drasir and you're watching Space Engineers Survival. Righto, that's true. We're doing that thing again where we're building stuff and hopefully getting off this rock. Though I have a list of things that I want to do before I leave. As you can see, I, or at least the build and repair system, have been busy building up these refineries as I said I would. But then I also added some boosters and some fuel tanks and some more boosters. Oh goodness, and the beginnings of a sort of cockpit module type thing. Now, I've probably gone a bit overkill, I'm not sure, having the 4 thrusters. And I always say if you're going to have a certain amount of thrusters going in one direction, you should have the same going in the other direction, because unless you want to flip the thing around, which you would usually do in actual rocketry, it's just easier that way. So yeah, that's what I've got so far. Added some more storage. I got some of the build and repair systems going on here, though they're not going because there's no components actually in here yet. Not done with this yet because I've just got the some of the control systems in here. Got the start of like some bunks. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to incorporate the rest of that into the ship design because yeah, it's going to be a thing. Let's see, actually, is that a... Nope, that's actually that block right there. Never mind. I was just looking at blocks I could possibly take out to make this work a bit better. So I'm probably just going to have, like, bunks. Like I've got there with, like, a communal bathroom shower area and then, like, a kitchen or something. This is basically supposed to be a fairly Spartan, unknown signal. Girl. System by which there's like a crew of 3. Oh, see, you could have a crew of... Oh gosh, I forgot that I'm not actually this way up. A crew of maybe 1 or 2. Not much can you see from this vantage point. Not much at all. You'd have to... Oops. Have to be sitting here. That would mean losing a window, which I may consider doing just for the sake of this, and then taking this one out and just having 2, one either side. That way you've got a pilot and co-pilot, but whilst they're in deep space they don't have to be at the controls all the time, just Ooh, puppy barking. I don't know, I'm not quite sure what to do with that. I'll give it some thought. Before I got too far in this, I kind of wanted to show you guys what was going on so I could get you involved a little bit, and not just plow on ahead and get things done. Let's see. No, actually, because that piece there is... What is it? No, see, that's not linked at all. That could be something there. Alright, I'm trying to think of like design elements I can incorporate into this without messing with it too much, but at the same time I want to try and make it compact. Anyway, what was I talking about? A crew 2. I don't really need that either because I'm just one person. I just like that it could be a real thing, that if they made ships like this, how would they have the duties assigned and who would go where and do what and so on. Not that it's necessary, of course, but I just think it's fun. Anyway, so that's what I've got going on so far. Haven't named this yet. Yeah, as I said, it's probably going to end up being a station more than a ship. What I'm likely to do in the end is to sever this part away so that... I don't know, actually. Because I was just gonna, once I get some platinum, I want to add ion engines to this instead of having the hydrogen engines. So then I can just do everything off of straight power, which reminds me I need to start adding batteries to this. Now these are technically the corners. I could add them here and do some sort of gantry that goes around the outside. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Of course, any gantry system that's going to be here at the moment will get burned off by the engine, so maybe we'll do that after we're done retrofitting it in space. So many decisions, so many decisions. And then yes, I did have a list of other things I wanted to do as well, which involve making good on a promise I made many episodes ago, many episodes ago, of finishing up most, if not all, of the creations I've made so far, getting them finished completely, and then putting them on the workshop. Because I know a couple of people had asked, and no, there probably isn't like a huge queue of people lining up, but somebody did ask, someone was interested, and if one person's interested, I will make an effort to do so. I apologize it's taking so long. I did say that I would try and get it done before the end of this season. Well, that's coming up. Basically, me launching into space is the end of this season, and then once we get to that point, it'll be too late. So that's going to be one thing I have to do, either during this episode or an episode prior to launch. But we will do that. Batteries, that's what I was looking for. Okie dokie. Now, how do I want to do this aesthetically? Because you know me, I'm all about the aesthetics. I think I'll have them all sort of turned around the same sort of way so that, for better or worse, they look the same. Or at least symmetrical. Well, no, see, not even symmetrical, because that would be the wrong way. They look like a pattern more than they look just like a mishmash. 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 Can you tell that I'm loopy? I can tell that I'm loopy. So yeah, whilst these are being installed, and once they're on here, they will start to get charged up, which will be very, very good. Let's just do this, rather than having to keep turning them. Do one set one way. Turn it, go up this way. Turn a bit. Turn this, go back down the other way. Look at this, trying for efficiency. Or would it be more efficient to go around the outside rather than going up and down the structure over and over again? Too late now, I've made my decision. It has been done. The end. Now, one of the things I like about this design so far is I love the industrial look of it, where it's just open and exposed and it's got all the bits and pieces sort of just sitting there. It looks like an industrial ship. But I do want to add some kind of structure to it, and so I'm probably going to end up with a main spine that goes from the top to the bottom with some kind of cladding that goes around to the edges here, possibly covering up some of these ports just to kind of polish it a little bit, but not so much that I'm just encasing it in armor, which is something I do all the time. I think, oh, I need to put armor all around it and make it a specific shape. Well, this is not supposed to be a ship of battle. It's not supposed to be armored at all. Not that not that light armor does anything anyway. Ooh, sick burn. But just to have it, look like it's got some spine, some integrity to it, because otherwise, it could just fall apart. Actually, oh, you can. Okay, so that is an attachment point, as is that. Good. I was thinking to myself, well, if this isn't an attachment point, which it isn't, because let's check that. I cannot. Let's go on this other side. Yeah, so this isn't an attachment, but this is. So there's going to be attachment points kind of going down. We're going to bring it to there and leave it there for now, and I'll do the same going up, and I'll be with you in just a minute. Okay, design decision time. Changing my mind slightly. I'm still going to have a spine coming down here, but from these 2 blocks, I'm going to go to half blocks. This will not save on weight, or will it? Yes, it will. It's on the small grid that it doesn't work, so it's only going to have 12 plates in it. Oh, which means I'm going to have to pinkify a whole bunch of things. But yeah, I'm going to have like a smaller spine, so there's still going to be a thinner profile, so it's not just kind of sticking out. And it also might help when I go to make the gantry. Do it that way. It's going to be interesting to try and figure out how to do that as well without making it look like it's just covered in one of those things, stairways and stuff, because you've got to have some way to get up and down, move around. But oh, I could do ladders, but can you imagine having to crawl along a set of ladders that goes from top to bottom like that? And see, that's another thing. I'm not going to encase this in armor so that it's all, you know, breathable air. Again, this is supposed to be a production ship, so that most everything that's kind of here might get kind of filled in a little bit. We'll see, because it's going to be tricky kind of filling that in and making it airtight. Man, I'm seeing some design errors I've made already. Like what I would do differently if I thought it through, you know, ahead of time. One of the things I would do is I'd push these out a bit more. But we're going to be redoing it anyway, so let's not get too... Ow! Ow, I got hurt on the propellery thingies. Okay, reopen it. There you go. I have to do that every now and then to figure out which way I'm actually facing or going or doing, whatever. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm babbling. I'm going to continue with this. I'll be right back. So while I was going through this, I also remembered something else I wanted to do. Since I'm already going to be doing a few chores, going back and forth to the original lake base, which has been a long time since I've been there. I sincerely hope it hasn't been blown up while I was gone. That would really, really suck. I don't think that's possible. I don't think the AI is smart enough to find bases like that. They just kind of follow you wherever you're at. But if they did, that would be kind of cool. And I don't know if I have enough ammo for it, even if it was a concern. Anyway, babbling. Did anyone else hear that? Like an explosion? After I just talked about my base blowing up? Did anyone just hear that? I know I don't have any... Oh, I can't remember if I showed you this. This is the light array I got set up here. So it kind of spreads out ahead of the truck. Actually works pretty good. I can't remember if I have that mod set up or not. Pretty sure I mentioned that before, so maybe I did mention this. Anyway. Goodness, distracted by things blowing up. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to go mining. Thinking of... see, this is my problem. I have a very set goal. I want to get off the planet and go somewhere else. Go do something else for a while. I especially like the idea of going to the moon, because it's a far more challenging environment to be on, or whatever you want to call it. No air, or atmosphere I should say. Low gravity. There's platinum, I think. Yes. Maybe. We'll see. Gosh, I don't even remember anymore. So we can do a platinum mine of sorts. Base type thing. And also, you know, start developing ion technology and get some things sorted out there. I want to add shields because I want to add more enemies back in just to make it a bit more fun, because right now it's kind of meh. I mean, I did that before and it got a bit overwhelming, but I think I could manage it now, especially if I do actually use some sort of goodness gracious, I cannot think straight, some sort of shielding system as well as the firepower. This is something else I really want to do. I want to take this entire thing and move it out a couple of blocks. I feel like I'd have enough wiggle room to make it work and have that kind of be in line with the thrusters there. Maybe. Again, something I can refit later, because this isn't going to be part of this ship anymore. In fact, you know what I might even do? I might even have this be a cargo ship. maybe take out these 2 tanks or 4 tanks, I guess, in the center. So it's just those 8 tanks, and double down on the amount of cargo capacity that's in there, and just have it be a cargo hauler. Even drop the engines in a little bit so as to not make it so bulky and big, but they would have more than enough strength to get from there to here and to here to there, even with a ton of cargo space. I did mention in one of the other episodes I have a ton of ideas, and I'm just brimming at the moment with different things that I want to do, but I'm going to have to pick things and do them in order, because I'm going to get turned around and not end up doing anything. Like now, I'm just talking and flying around and not actually getting anything done. So let me do some by myself Zen moment thinking and figure things out, and we'll go from there. So one of the things I did decide on doing, even though I said I wasn't going to worry about it until later, is I'm going to redo these tanks. Like this. So, okay, my original thinking was, since I've got this number of engines, I should have 1 tank per engine, but I don't think it's going to be necessary. In fact, I think we could probably make it to space with only 2 sets of engines. I don't know how many tanks there would be. Maybe 4? Regardless, we're going to go ahead and remove these middle tanks, so I drain them all into the storage on the base. Good that it's connected. I was about to say, if I accidentally sever one of these cargo containers, that would be unfortunate. They're not heavy enough to break anything, but they still could cause a problem. Alright, now for these things. Large cargo container. Sincerely apologize to anybody who's actually French, because that was the most horrible French accent I've ever heard. No, I'm sorry you had to be a witness to it. Thinking too much. So these containers, let's just imagine they're connected up to some platform that's maybe right here. And a mining ship comes in, it settles down on a connector, offloads a bunch of ore. The ore gets immediately brought down into the refineries. It's a one-way system. Down into the refineries and starts getting processed. However much can be fit in there is how much goes in there. Whoa. Down here are the finished ores. Well, I'm thinking I should have a lot more storage down here, so that no matter how much I put in, I can have enough storage down here. That then, when that's all said and done, can be pulled by the assemblers. I have to put a gateway there as well, so some other kind of... that only ores can go through there. It goes up through the assemblers, so they build stuff, and then the assembled pieces come up and end up in, I guess, another set of containers. Oh, yeah. It all worked in my head when I was thinking about it, but now that I'm trying to visualize it again, I've lost track of what it was I was going for. I think I'm getting too distracted by things that don't need to be done right now. The reality is this thing could launch right now, and I would be totally scuppered, because one of the things I forgot about is there are no gyroscopes on this thing. Not a single gyroscope on here. That would be really, really bad. I'd get into space, I just wouldn't be able to move around. But the big question of the day is, do we want to internalize them, or have those sort of sticking out like everything else so far? This is going to be part of the main system anyway. Let's find a place for them to go within this ship. How many do we want? We want lots, realistically, a lot of gyroscopes. Do I even have them on one of these hotbars? Probably not. Okay, let's just go ahead and add them. Gyroscope. Then we will place them. We'll place them here, out of the way. Mostly out of the way. If we really wanted to, we could put some things here, and then we'll see. Because every time I make a decision to do something like this and try to make it symmetrical, it drastically reduces the amount of space on all four sides, or the amount of places I can move through. Because this is a nice throughway into, a maintenance system for this, and going up as well, depending on where I put the gravity generator. Probably end up somewhere in here, actually. Possibly even in the middle, right in the middle, so that it's pretty uniform where it is. And then this would become an engineering section for this ship, behind everything else. Whoa. Oh, speaking of which, at some point we're going to have to decide where to put some hydrogen engines. And I think I know exactly where they could go. They could go right here, come down here, and then this could be piped. Do that. Man, am I ever going to get to do any of the things that I said that I need to end up doing at some point? Probably not. Now, where's the port? There it is. Port goes there. Port goes there. Imaging. Oh, you know what? I don't have any on here yet either. H2O2 generators. Oh, I can even put them. Oh man, and I wonder why I never get anything done. I'm literally a dog, in a field of squirrels. I've got plenty of material apparently for the basic stuff. I just don't have any gold to finish off these. And as I said, I wanted to go mining for that. The other thing I was thinking about is there's a whole bunch of different projects I want to do. I want to build new things. I want to finish my existing things. Just a big nightmare, one long list of things that I haven't done and I really want to launch soon. So some of the things I may end up dealing with once I get into space. I can get gold in space, as a for instance. But the other thing I cannot do once I've left, because it'll be the new season, I have spoken, therefore it'll be this way, is to finish up the other creations and publish them, basically. Some of them are more or less done, like this one is ready to go for the most part. There might be some embellishments I can add to it. I think I might add some more silver highlight to this, maybe here, and possibly going back, just so it's not like black. It looks very tactical right now, but I'm not really going for, government cover-up mobiles or anything like that. It just, I've always liked black. I like silver, and the blue, yellow, red thing is kind of a thing that happened whilst I was trying to decide what I wanted the look of my channel to be, whilst thinking about things like that. Really all it needs to be done is some programming on this thing. You find a way to cover this up so it's not exposed, but I can easily put a little panel there. Let me count for me. How many times have I said the word distracted today? You guys are going to think I'm insane. I just thought of another idea I want to do instead of what I've just done. I want to have a system where this would be the main body of this particular freighter. And rather than having all these cargo containers sit in here, I want to have cargo containers that can be pulled up to this ship and docked to it. So two cargo containers would come in and be docked right here. Two more would be docked right here, and so on. So 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 cargo containers. Why do I do this to myself? Why do I do this to myself? I get partway through a big build like this and then I'm like, you know what? I could just completely throw everything I've been working on out of the window and do it this way instead. It would mean I would leave the hydrogen system in, for sure. That's something I was planning on doing anyway. But I would also have room underneath and maybe to the sides to have some ion thrusters so they can have kind of both. This is stuff I should be saving for once I'm in space. But now that I know about it, now that I've thought about it, I want to do it right now. I'm so tempted just to launch and start this going because... Gosh. Anyway, I'm not going to do that. I made a promise. So what I will do is I will step away from this. I will step away from this project because it's distracting me too much from what of other things that I want to do that I have to do before I leave. I am going to take the Hummingbird back to my original base. I want to go and find out how many vehicles I have, exactly which ones need to be finished and completely done up, and then get to work on them. Now let's see how much power we actually have on this thing. 2 days of power when on the ground. Unlocked. Fire it up. Ready to go. We do not have much power on this thing. So, let's do this. Let's go park this up. And I shouldn't be flying at night anyway. That's actually a really, really bad idea on my part. But you know what we also should do? These are things I think of after the fact. Oh, that's right, that camera was... I never did show you guys, that camera was finished whilst I was messing about with other things because the build and repair system got to it before I could finish it. Now, just so you know, right now I am working on improvements for the Hummingbird on the fly because it's still flying. Yes, absolutely. Sorry. Yep, puns are bad puns. Corner light, both of these. Radius, boom. Intensity, boom. Now, will it give me any light while I'm trying to land? I'm giving me some light, so that's actually helping a bit. Oh, maybe I should just put some spotlights on this thing. This is actually not helping at all. Oh, once I'm basically on the ground... am I the right way around? Can't even tell. No, it's supposed to be this way. I want the thing to fit. And as I recall, this was just happenstance. I didn't design this to fit in this exact profile, it just kind of happened. Whoops, wrong way, this way. Oh, scraping, not good. Yep, not good. Yep, don't know. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, we're settled. That can go off. Though that can be locked. That can be switched off. Did I just switch it back on? I think I must have done something fairly hideous because it looked like it was freaking out, and I'm pretty sure it just burned part of this platform. Okay. The big question is, are those recharging? And not. I want them to be. Groups. Oh goodness, we're not going to be able to find it in all this. So let's go ahead and unlock for a second. Control panel. Hummingbird batteries. They are in a group. Okay. Hummingbird batteries. Let's put them at the back here. On and off. Hummingbird batteries on and off. No, I don't want that. Move. Hummingbird batteries. I want to switch to recharge on and off. There we go. Right now it's on auto. We're going to lock and we're going to switch it to recharge mode. I guess we'll just put batteries because it doesn't want to do it. There we go. That's the ones I want. Fully recharged in 6 minutes. Mwah. Absolutely fantastic. So in 6 minutes I'll be fully recharged. I don't know how much extra time that'll give me, but it was what? I feel like it was 50% at least battery power. That's going to be an extra about 20 minutes. Even if that adds 10 minutes, that's plenty of time to get me where I'm going. Ooh, but I still don't want to fly at night. Okay, never mind. I got all excited for nothing. Alrighty. Oh, that's right. I should have deployed my... actually, I think the controls are down this way. So it's sunrise, finally, and now I can fly back to base. I waited a while to get the sun to rise so I could fly back. Realized I could have installed a mod to sleep, and then just got bored and actually moved the sun and waited for the amount of time. Yeah, I wouldn't have done anything else until then, so it was fine, but I will show you the things I have done. Let's see. Deploy array. Look at that, look at it go, look at it deploying. Now the script should be running. So as soon as it gets itself into gear, yep, it'll start moving. Figure out where it wants to be, and start collecting more power. Now that, of course, that's an emergency system. There's no way that's going to generate enough power to really do anything significant, but it is at least keeping the batteries going. What I've done over here is created a very rough and ready large grid with a battery and a couple of solar panels, ore detection system, which I'm about to test and see if the Hummingbird is capable of picking up. If it is, I'm going to attach an antenna to it as well, to the doohickey. Let's see, let's unlock, take us off recharge, power up, and take to the skies. There we go, look at that. Without any real problems. Reset the view. Why are we still going up? Why are we still going up? What is happening? Why are we still going up? Now we're going back down. Oh no. Land! Oh. Something broke. What is going on? Okay. Oh. We landed hard. Oh, did cruise mode get set on this thing? One way to find out. Now cruise is off. Thrusters are on. Dampeners false. Is that what it is? Because it says dampeners are off and I'm pressing the button and nothing's happening, but maybe it's not controlled by that? I can't really... Nope, nope, nope. Don't take off again. Oh, I'm doing more damage. I'm doing more damage. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to find the command to add to make sure the dampeners are on, because I don't know what that is. It might just be as simple as percentage dampeners. Let me find that out. Okay, it is just as simple as Why did I call it... I just realized. I called it Izzy's vector thrust. It's not. Let me fix that too, because that is rude of me not to have realized that it's not Izzy's vector thrust at all. It's made by WSX10, aka Vermilion, I think, at this point. Oh. So let's put Vermilion, I think that's how you spell it. Yeah. So, sincerest apologies, WSX10, Vermilion. My fault. Completely my fault. Izzy's made a lot of nice scripts, but this is yours, so I apologize. Someone's probably already pointed that out in one of the comments. If not, why not? My fault, so. Let's get back to what we're doing. So we've renamed that. We want to leave that as it is. Now we want to go to G menu, find the proper block, and then run. And it is as simple as percentage dampeners. Ready? Confirm. Okay. Press 2. Let's power back up. Lift off the ground. Okay, why are we not stopping? We're supposed to balance out. And then it's not slowing us down either. Oof. So much damage happening. Okay, so it's off right now. Dampener's false, it says. Dampeners. Oh, dampeners. That's why. Okay, so let's try that again. Down here. Run. Percentage. Dampeners. Not dampeners, but dampeners. I guess I don't know how to spell. Now let's turn that on. Now let's power back up. Nope. Nope, it's not doing anything. Ugh. Okay. Tried switching it off. Have you tried switching it off and back on again? Back on. Power up. Lift off. This might actually require a program. Well, I'm glad I figured this out now before I started heading off to the other base, because I could have easily ended up crashing. Let me just recompile. Okay. It's off of standby, powered up. There we go. Slowed down and stopped. Because what was happening, it was just rising into the air. I'd press the button, and it would tap, and it would keep going as if it was on cruise mode. That's what it seemed like. And maybe it was, and it was reading as false, but it was on cruise mode. I don't know. Okay, so now that that is taken care of, I can do some repair to these. I think it was just... Let's kind of lift up a little bit and level out. And then let's add the G landing gear. This one, the standard one. So there for now. Which way rounds the front way? Two at the back and like so. We should be close enough to. There we are. Okay. Obviously they're the wrong color at the moment. We won't worry about that too much. Go ahead and add all those back to the correct imaging. So that includes this one and this one. Save. Auto lock off. Don't like auto lock. And then, whoop, nope. We drop down carefully, carefully. Oh, that was a bit harder than I meant to. And then hit lock. We're locked. Okay. Okay. So repairs complete for the most part. I think anything else that would have broken would have been repaired by the system, but I definitely lost those two landing gear trying to get it back down to the ground. Okay! Sidetrack over. Let's try again. Unlock. Lift into the air. This time, we were going to drift over very carefully and see if this particular ship, down, 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 has enough power to lift this contraption into the air. And I want to get it sort of in the middle. I don't think it actually matters. Maybe it does. I don't know. I just want to get it semi-straight so it doesn't look weird when we're traveling around. Just a little bit. A little bit. Okay, now we should be down and lock. We are locked. We have it in our hands. Let's lift up gently. We can lift it. Ooh, and we can kind of stand on it too. We're stable. Hardly using any power to do that. Okay, and the other thing I wanted to add to this, hopefully there won't be any interference from anything else that's on here at the moment, is one of these. Bigger. Why isn't it allowing it? Do I not have the appropriate materials? No, it will, it just won't do it this way. Okay, so in which case let's go ahead and set these on some blocks really quick. That's what, the only reason I was wanting to lift it up just in a minute was because I wanted to... Oh, don't twist. Down, down, down. Gently. And then let go. And then get out. And careful. And try this again. Maybe I'm not up far enough. I'm not sure. Lift up. Now get out. That would be unfortunate if it kept drifting up now. I didn't even notice. Okay, there we go. And it should be good there. Will she build the one part I don't want first? Oh, and so it's Alt middle click. No, Control middle click. There we go, to get the build vision. Build vision is the name of the script that I was not able to remember the other day. Very, very useful. We want to add small head, so just click to make it work. Then our system will engage and do that. Go ahead and get an antenna. This one. Little antenna to stick out this way. Now what I'm hoping will happen is that this antenna will broadcast to the hummingbird antenna, which now that I think about it, I don't know if it actually has. I think it used to sit here. So let's check that, shall we? Check that. Antenna. It apparently does have an antenna. Got a beacon. Oh, it's in the back there. I didn't even see it. Okay. So drop down again. Come back just a little bit more. So the oh, that was very, very close. Lift up just slightly. Pick it up. And oh, no, no, no. Back down. Yeah, so what I did, I think I hit like power up or power down or something like that by accident. We've got it. It's lifting up into the air. It's not being burned by anything that I can see. Now, it says it's detecting ice. We do have an ore detector on this ship, but I want to see if the big detector is useful. Do that. We can fly over to section over here. Ooh, that looks like it's burning the solar panels doing that. Oh, so US pod down there is actually unknown signal pod that I collected and never picked up. Look at that, it's working. From 100 and something, that's fantastic. This is a part that I already scouted. You can see it says Oasis Lake Cobalt. Be careful because I got all this weight on here now. It's not balanced. I can see the system's moving from side to side. The cobalt, nickel, and iron is here. I want to find gold, but that is not a... Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Yep. No sharp turns. No sharp turns. Carefully, carefully, carefully. Oh, goodness. Okay. So, it's unwieldy. this might not be the best best ship to be flying around with this, but we're just going to have to deal with that for now. So yeah, I might not end up actually mining out some gold, I don't know yet. But this is, you can see it wants to tilt to one side or another. When I try to tilt to one side or another, the gyroscopes are overwhelmed by the sheer weight of this particular object, and it might be just that I've got these solar panels on here, which I'm going to set in such a way that we can let it go now. Okay, we're going to drop down for the minute, land, and we're going to turn those off, we're going to turn that off, we're going to power down completely, save the batteries that I just recharged. I'll probably remove these blocks as well, just because there's added weight there. That's already, what, 50 steel plate. I don't know how heavy the detector components are. Power cells are heavy, I think. Not too much steel plate there. What about these? I don't know how heavy the solar cells are either. Anyway, just a little something to help me pick up some things if I want to. I'm going to go get this unknown signal and ramble a little bit while I do that. So I'm going to head back to the base and I'm going to find a few things. I almost want to be able to get back without having to use the Hummingbird so I can fly one of the other ships. But the whole point of the Hummingbird was to be a mobile ship for the other one. Oh, that's right. This is what I was doing earlier. I press up, it goes to the last thing I said, and I just hit enter, and it says GPS. Yeah, seriously? Or was that me answering that made that noise? Because I hadn't noticed that before. Oh cool, it's actually detecting things and telling me about it all the way back there. Because I'm still within the broadcast range. All the ice that's right here. Really? There's ice here. Right here. Have a look. You're right. There is ice. Right here. And only here. This one little patch. This tiny little square right here. Says the guy who complained that he didn't have any way to create hydrogen when he was on an ice lake. Yeah. Okay, so enough messing around. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at what I've done. You remember I told you I was going to change out the cargo system? I did. And I've set it up this way, where I've got the engines pretty much where they were. I set up a merge block system so that they can get connected to the ship. Though strictly speaking, it doesn't matter if they're actually connected to the cargo system, because they're not supposed to change out their material. They're supposed to stay in here. Maybe I will take those off in the end, because it's supposed to be just a storage section, so that they get moved from place to place, not somewhere that I'm going to use to actually refine. But that will be different from what I'm doing here, because I could leave it on here, I suppose, and just have this actually be a refining station, but that's not what I was planning in the first place, so I'll decide when I get up into space. So this core, this production core, has its own battery system, so it'll have its own power. It doesn't have any gyroscopes of its own yet. In fact, it doesn't even have any way to power itself, so I'll have to use something to tug it around, which is what this is for initially, to get it into space. But I can disengage it from this cargo vessel. The middle's pretty hollow. I had to disconnect these so that it would come away easily. Added some hydrogen generation for when I get to that point. I took out the hydrogen engines for now until I decide where I want them. I have decided to make this a much larger ship, because I was thinking to myself, there should be at least 2 people on duty at all times. That's an 8-hour day. And if it's a 24-hour day, if they're going by standard Earth time, then you'd have to have 6 people to cover that, 2 each shift. But then some, like, kind of, cover for that. So sort of 2 pilots and 1 mechanic, 3 crew, a pilot, co-pilot / operations officer, an an engineer or a mechanic to kind of work things out like that. And so I just figured 8 will do. So there's 2 shifts for sure, and then a couple of backups to kind of just be there. So 8-man crew. That's a lot for just hauling stuff, but it's going to be a big ship comparatively, so it's not just like one single trucker by themselves hauling along in space. Well, saying that, if you are hauling in space, you're gonna spend a lot of time asleep, not doing anything, because even with a jump drive you have to, well, I suppose you could change out shifts that way, but I don't know. I'll figure something out. I will probably end up adding some the cryopods as well. We'll get to that. And part of this is not even necessary. It's just kind of like an RP aspect of it. It's just the way I am. Oh, I didn't realize we're actually almost facing... Is that Mars? Must be Mars from about here. Oh, and actually the alien planet is right there too. So we're actually heading out into that sort of region anyway, so... not that it matters, we're going to be navigating our way around the planet to find the moon. Though I've got a pretty good idea of where it is, given the some of the other GPS points that I made. Okay, so that's gathering power. That is as good as it's going to get for now. I'll probably finish the rest of it when I get to space. It's got more than enough to get me there. It's just going to be like riding in a convertible, kind of Mark Watney style. A lot of the stuff is still stripped out and it hasn't actually got it there anymore. What I'll end up doing is breaking this off, so there'll be plenty of room to clear the tower, as it were. There's a merge block down here that will get disengaged. In fact, it's kind of funny, this entire huge structure, I'm always going on about how it's got to be structurally sound and it's got to look like it'll actually hold things up. One block, these tanks are basically free floating, another block and the rest of them are free floating. This looks sort of like it could support itself to some degree, but this thing is sitting on one merge block. Yeah, it's not realistic. But let's not worry about details just yet, as I've got so much more else to do. We'll leave that there to deal with when we come back. Now it's time to fly home. Oh, I'm going to do something before I do that. I'm going to actually save and load up something that will help me get there. I'll show you what I mean. Some of you may already guess before I even get to it. Alrighty, unfortunately I'm going to have to kind of cut this episode short because it's gotten quite long, and while we're doing the outro we're going to look into the creepy eyes staring of my engineer avatar. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Look forward to the next one, obviously, because it's going to continue on with what I was doing. This one, yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the time. This is the second time it's happened recently, but getting back into Space Engineers in a big way. If you liked it, please do hit the like button, share with your friends, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, you all have a good one, and I'll see you on the other side.